Pozdrav Raja, kako ste svi? Ja se zovem Renato Bevanda, rođen sam u Zenici, Bosni i Hercegovini. I came to United States in 1995. I was 14 years old. I'm really thankful for this opportunity to tell you a little bit about what God has done in my life. So growing up, my family is what you call a mixed marriage. My mom is Muslim, my dad is Catholic, and I would say for them, religion was just really cultural. It's not something that they practice, but kind of something that just they follow, and they observe their holidays. Other than that, our family dynamics were really hard. We had a lot of struggles as a family, a lot of brokenness, a lot of difficulties, and that really affected me as a child. And then you can imagine living in the war. I was only 10 years old when the war started. That also created a lot of fear, anxiety, instability, a lot of things that a kid should not experience, right? Or anybody. And some of you guys listening to this video, you can relate. You lived in a war and you can relate to the fears and the struggles that I had living through that. As I became an adult and I got married, I'm married, I have three boys. I started to see a lot of those broken patterns in my own life, just things that I learned from my family and things that I saw. A lot of those same old patterns that I grew up with were really affecting me as a person. I would say that I brought a lot of that into my relationships, into my marriage. I would say that I was a very hopeless person. I tried to find hope in people and things, and as you can imagine, often people and things disappoint you. And I just felt a lot of anxiety and depression, and just felt just really sad. Later, as I went to college late in life, and that's where the first time I was invited to an evangelical church. And at first I was very hesitant. I didn't want to go. Even though I knew I was a broken person, I felt like I was a good person. I didn't do terrible things. And I said to myself, well, if I need a religion, I'll pick my mom or dad's. I'll be either Muslim or Catholic. I don't need a new one. And but really, what it was, looking back, I was a really proud person. I didn't see myself as a broken, sinful person against the holy God. And I think that pride really blinded me to see my need for change, for forgiveness. So the first time I attended that evangelical church, that's pretty much the first time I ever heard about Jesus. That's where I learned that He is the Son of God, that He is God Himself, and that He died for my sin, and He's alive today, ruling over this world. And I started to find answers to my hopelessness, to my brokenness, to a lot of these things started to make sense. What I learned also is that He didn't just come here to make bad people good. He came here to pay for my sin. That's the only way that we can get right with God. And when I put my faith in Jesus, that's where something happened in my heart. I realized that even though I'm this broken person with a lot of struggles and pain and troubles in my life, I had hope. I had hope and joy that I couldn't explain to anybody, and I still can't. There's that just inexplainable joy. Even though there's difficulties still in my life, it's not an easy life, it's not a perfect life. I don't think that God promises a perfect life to anybody, but what He promises is Himself, His grace. And so putting my faith in Jesus has given me a new life in Him, and there's still a lot of work in me to do, no doubt. I'm not perfect. A lot of work, a lot of change that needs to happen, but regardless of my circumstances or whatever is happening around me, I know that one day I will go to heaven, and that gives me assurance. So, hey, I'm really thankful for this short little video. I know that I haven't had a chance to dig in deep, but if anybody's interested to talk to me, please ask Andrew, have him share my information with you. I would love to at least just have a conversation, you know. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free. I would love a chance to interact. Love you all very much. Ciao.